DC Water has been increasing water fees to fund its Clean River project over the past few years, but for some churches and cemeteries, the fees are becoming a major setback. Alyssa Anderson reports.
Cemeteries across the city could be forced to close because of skyrocketing water bills. In Northwest D.C., Rock Creek Cemetery is a historic part of the city, says Reverend Alan Johnson.
It is the oldest cemetery in Washington, D.C. It has so many dignitaries that are buried here.
However, the cemetery is facing an uncertain future because it cannot pay its $200,000 a year water bill. This is up from $3,500 a year in 2009. The increase comes from a DC water fee that charges based on estimated storm water runoff on a property. Roads, walkways, and rooftops all increase this amount. For cemeteries, this also includes mausoleums.
Some cemeteries have already considered closing their gates and maybe handing the key over to the city to see if they would maintain it, because the charges.
DC Water created the fee to help fund its multi-billion-dollar project to keep sewage and stormwater from flowing into the district's rivers. Cemeteries and churches are especially hard hit because they are required by law to have parking.
We have parishes in some of the least affluent sections of the city, particularly in Ward 8. We have one parish there paying over or close to $50,000 a year just in
the cemeteries and churches have sent letters to DC Water but have not received a response yet. For District Wire News, I'm Alyssa Anderson.
The South Lawn of the White House will host trick-or-treaters today from 4 to 7 p.m. Children from over 20 schools in the DMV area have been invited to the event. The President and First Lady will hand out candies and cookies. The White House has been celebrating Halloween every year since the Eisenhower administration.
Kids are kids, and regardless, so whether you're on the left wing, right wing, I think it's the right decision to do, and welcome kids, and everybody should be welcome to the White House.
This is the first time President Trump will welcome trick-or-treaters to the White House lawn. Last Friday, Trump allowed children of the press into the Oval Office, handing them Halloween treats as well.
Trick-or-treating kicks off tomorrow night, but some kids will have to be careful about the candy they're eating. Courtney Rosen is live in the studio with more.
That's right, Jasmine. Nearly 6 million kids have food allergies, making tomorrow night nerve-wracking for their parents. I spoke with doctors and parents to get a sense about how they're preparing for Halloween. Candy, costumes, and pumpkins. Halloween is just around the corner. But for kids with food allergies, some candies can trigger reactions. Dr. Marcella Daniel is a pediatrician in Northwest D.C. She says most children are diagnosed with an allergy before they're 2 years old. One of the dangers for them on Halloween is trading candy with another child.
Or if a child has a sibling that might not be allergic themselves but has been eating large quantities of this, has contact with it, might have it on their fingers because children are a little messy, they might expose a sibling to it unknowingly.
Most common allergies in candy are peanuts, tree nuts, soy, dairy, and wheat, Daniel said. Tara Flacker, a mom of 2, has a nephew with food allergies.
And we do typically, as a household, tend to pick out particularly peanut-free candies or things that we know will work, so that anybody that comes to our house can trick-or-treat and eat.
This Halloween, Food Allergy Research and Education is encouraging families to get in on the Teal Pumpkin Project, an initiative to protect kids with food allergies. Daniel has 2 recommendations for families this Halloween.
So one, to have an alternative so that the children don't feel left out for not being able to have access to these things. And then also making sure that both the child and anyone else who's going to be in the household with the child knows not to open any candy until the parents can inspect it.
There's also the option to give out toys or goodies as opposed to candy. And that's exactly what some parents will be doing. If you don't have a pumpkin but still want to participate, you can go to foodallergies.org and print out one of these pumpkin signs to hang in your window. You can also check out their interactive map to find out which homes are serving allergy-free treats in your neighborhood. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Courtney. Zero Waste DC takes to Twitter on what to do with your pumpkins after Halloween. They are asking DC residents to drive to their nearest food waste drop-off location to properly recycle your old pumpkins. This Saturday at 9 a.m., 8 participating farmers markets will also open their gates for drop-off. For more information, you can visit zerowastedc.org.
As Halloween night approaches, trick-or-treaters and drivers will flood the streets. For many, this means candy, parties, and costumes. But if people are not careful, it can also be dangerous. Halloween participants are recommended to follow these guidelines to stay alert and safe. Plan a trick-or-treating route, stay well lit with reflective gear and flashlights to be visible to drivers, stay in a group of friends or with adult supervision, and before consuming any candy, check it. Let's keep our local area safe for Halloween.
Coming up next, Montgomery County is debating a soda tax that could help fund early childhood development programs. Stay with us after the break.